you know what, you are the second Filipino in the group. So there's Irvin, and I was so curious who's Irvin, because like I don't have any idea also. I just
Yeah.
wanted to see, what's there, and whether, I was not decided at that time. And then afterwards, after that, gathering, I applied for my assessment. Then yeah, so I contacted the school, and then they're supposed to, like, you have to pay the fees for the assessment, and then they'll give you instructions, and those instructions will be sent to the school, and then the school will, fill all those requirements. And since I live in Mindanao at that time, my yung parang may may mini war dun sa place namin. So, yung sa Mindanao State University, yung main campus is nasa Marawi City. So, like, all our credentials must like what were requested from Marawi City. So like may mga delays. So I applied like maybe July 2019, and supposedly dapat tapos na ng mga August. But it took my application to be completed ng mga November. So
Okay, so
November
basically,
2019.
when you contacted the NCA, what requirements did you have to submit?
Yeah, so like they will require your transcripts, your certificates, your employment records, um, and then they also require yung undergrad mo na transcript. And I was also requested to provide yung sa high school.
Yung Form 138 ba natin yan?
Yeah, they also asked me for that. And then yung mga employment records. And then, yeah, so may instruction sila na uh, after mo magbayad, ipadala mo yung copy ng requirements nila sa school. And then from the school, dapat nakasil lahat yon. Hindi dapat dumaan ng kanino, kahit kanino. And like it was like it needed to be authenticated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Authenticated
then
yung red ribbon? It is the red ribbon from
yeah,
DFA? Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Hmm.
Sir Bobby, was it the same as
Oo nga.
ours?
That comes,
Like,
I guess, Jesse's, it's changed already. During our
Yeah.
time, we went through the process. Na ganun din, you have to get your records from school, pero sealed envelope lang. Hindi dadaan sa'yo. Yung
Send
original
straight,
copy
no?
goes to Ottawa, to the Federation of Law Societies.
Yeah.
So I guess baka
yeah.
naghihigpit sila
So
ngayon.
like yung sa school, yung sa law school at saka yung certificates, galing na yun sa university, sealed envelope. Pero yung ni-require nila na authenticated was my undergrad, and I was to send it separately. Kasi di ba parang i-compare nila yon, whatever
Yes.
came from your school and whatever you submitted. So yun
Oh,
yung
really?
nangyari. Yeah, yun yung nangyari sa akin. And
Kasi,
then after,
yeah. I mean, during
yeah,
our time, I'm in the same position as Sir Bobby. Kasi during our time, when we applied, they required the school to actually directly send it to them. Hindi pwedeng school, applicant, then NCA or FLSC.
actually
Kasi,
they require me to submit my credentials from my side, tapos parang kinonfirm lang yun ng school. Kasi
yeah.
like maybe they compare, I don't know,
Siguro they compare.
but
Yeah.
like I have to send my own credentials, and then yung sa school naman is required sealed and signed by the registrar. So yun. So parang dalawa yung record na sinubmit ko. Like naisip ko nga na parang ang dami naman ng requirements, hindi ba pwedeng isa lang. So yeah, yun yung nangyari. And then when the assessment came, so meron naman silang binigay na options. Either you take it from the university, so meron din silang instructions, or you could just try challenging the exam.
Okay, so basically, other than the credentials o yung sinasabi natin transcript and the diploma, alam ko diploma kasama rin, di ba, Sir Bobby?
Yeah, diploma, and if I'm not mistaken, I think even at the earliest stage, yung certification from the Supreme Court that you are a
Yes.
lawyer in good standing.
Yeah,
Yun din.
actually,
Kanya,
in good
yung medyo
standing
inutusan ko yung
membership.
kapatid ko ron sa Manila na trabahuin yun yung medyo tumagal ng konti.
Buti ako nasa Pilipinas pa ako no, nag-apply ako. That's why, so nag-inquire ako online. So, Jeric, for your purpose, nag-apply ako online. You have to submit kasi transcript in order for you to be assessed. So, other than that, they will be requiring, of course, the diplomas ng college because they want to find out how well versed are you in the legal field, especially in common law. Okay? Ngayon, other than that, since ang minimum requirement ng NCA is that you be a law graduate. You don't really have to be a licensed lawyer or practicing lawyer or even bar passer. But if you are, you can add on your credentials, yung membership natin sa Supreme Court, and then submit it to them because it will definitely help. Okay? And other than that, they will require you, kung if you've been practicing law, they will also require you to submit a resume. Why? Because they will also look at the work experience. So because NCA, okay, just to be clear, NCA is part of FLSC, Federation of Law Societies in Canada. Federation of Law Societies in Canada, they are the governing body that governs the entire law schools in Canada. Different provinces have different rules into their law societies. So technically, kung ang FLSC is more of the Canadian law school, they have created NCA to cater to those lawyers or law graduates from outside Canada. So NCA is mostly outside of Canada law graduates concerns. So they will devise a way in order for us, tulad ko, tulad natin lahat, na hindi sa Canada nag-aral ng law school, para malaman, at pwede ka bang i-assess ka namin, pwede ka bang mag-practice here in Canada. So sila ang nagpo-process ng credentials natin. Unfortunately, based from what I heard, okay, because I've listened to this podcast where the head of NCA was interviewed, ang hirap kasi, to be honest, si Sir Bobby, 8 subjects lang siya. I was assessed 9 subjects. Si Jessie was assessed how many subjects now?
11.
Unfortunately, meron tayong isa na dapat kasama, kaya lang kasi they're isolating themselves. Si Reg Torres, kaya asawa niya, they're showing symptoms of COVID, so they had to rest in their houses, kaya hindi sila nakasama. But sila, si Reg, 8 lang din. Okay, 8 lang din. Unfortunately, we really don't know kung ano yung standard na galing sa Philippines. The problem kasi pala is that onti lang yung nag-a-apply na sa NCA coming from the Philippines.
Yeah,
That's why
exactly.
wala silang record.
Okay.
Wala silang nagagawa na set na standard. Kasi ang
other nationalities medyo konti tayo compared sa South Asians, compared sa
so
iba.
sinasabi nila ang India, one of the biggest talaga na nag-a-apply ng NCA.
Marami sila.
Nakuha na din nila parang na-pattern na So may pattern na, okay, if I'm coming from India, so I can already apply, malalaman na, okay, graduate ka dito, this year, this school, ito na experience mo, okay, madali na. Pero kasi
But
sa atin, case by case basis,
Yeah, before, like yung mga Indians and other like Nigerians, they get only 5, right? Because they are from common law. But now they're having 7, 6, 8. So the NCA is really increasing the number of subjects.
Yeah.
So that's a surprise. I didn't know that. So para naghihigpit sila, ganon?
Kasi yung sabi naman nung mga parang naging kakilala ko na din ng mga Indian, sabi nila ang dami daw kasi ng numbers ng applicants.
Okay.
That's why we
Mm.
had a problem last exam nung August.
Yeah.
Like some people waited for, ako 2 hours, delayed yung exam. But others waited for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Parang
Wow.
inis na.
Yeah, we will get
Kasi
into
like,
that. Yeah, we will get
Yeah.
into that. Pero let's go back to the process muna. So basically, once you have applied, meron bang, I think you will have to create your own account online. Tama ba, Jessie, Sir Bobby?
yeah, they'll send you your number.
Login,
So that,
password,
yeah.
username,
Oo.
wherein
Yeah.
you can log in. And then, online na
Change
kasi
your
ang
password.
NCA. So, you can check there your status, yung mga
You can
kailangan
see
mo
the number
pa.
of exams you pass, di ba? Every time, doon mo i-check eh.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
basically, doon mo
Lahat ng
makikita.
stages nandun.
And if you want to purchase exams, then you can do it online as well.
Okay.
So,
Correct.
okay, so once we have completed the documents, right? So we have submitted the transcript, the diploma, membership in the Supreme Court, resume or CV natin. It will take time. Once we submitted that to them, they will study it, they will assess it, okay? And then eventually they will reply to you kung ano yung mga subjects mo, kung ano yung subjects at ilan yung kailangan mong kunin, di ba? It is surprising. Let me just show you. Jeric, ano ang jurisdiction natin sa Philippines? Civil or common? Common law?
It's a mix eh, di ba sa Pilipinas? It's a mix of civil and common law eh, if I'm not mistaken.
Perfect. So
Diba?
basically, but officially we are a civil law jurisdiction country.
Yes, officially.
Ngayon, for purposes of NCA, they have considered Philippines as mixed common law.
Mm.
So the good thing about mixed common law is that we are considered as common law, but at the same time, more subjects.
Mm.
Ang mga civil law jurisdictional countries, yun ang medyo technical na problema because wala silang exposure ng common law. They have the option of enrolling in a law school recognized by Canada or accredited by Canada or take, I don't know, so much exams. So mas mahirap ang process ng civil law. Netherlands, Spain, Turkey, ano pa ba?
Si Angelique,
marami.
saan pa galing si Angelique?
Netherlands.
Okay.
So yung mga civil law jurisdiction, mas mahirap. Technically nga speaking, dito sa policy na to, hindi na nila inaalaw ang civil law. Kasi walang exposure. And the good thing about the Philippines, meron tayo. So ang ganda. So the point is, ang Philippines is considered as a mixed law jurisdiction and then mas madali tayo mag-a-apply. Okay? So, Jessie, based from your experience, gaano katagal from the moment that you apply, yung nag-apply ka sa NCA, from the moment that they have given you the results o yung assessment mo, gaano katagal kaya? Ilang weeks? Was it months even?
Like they told me na it's expected after na yung masubmit mo lahat is like 2 to 3 months. And
2 to 3 months.
Yeah. And like they delivered what they said. Pero tumagal yung sa akin dahil nga our credentials are requested from Marawi City.
Mm-hmm.
So yun yung delays. Parang when I started, it took me around maybe 5 months bago ko na-complete lahat.
5 months. And would you remember how much did you pay for?
It was like, I think, $500, more or less.
Canadian dollars yan. Boss Jeric,
Yeah.
nasa kon yan. 20,000. But you can pay credit card. Tama ba?
Yeah.
Diba? So credit card. Hindi mo na kailangan mag-transfer. I mean, madali lang. But again, $500. And then, from the moment that you have received, kasi kami ni Sir Bobby, we have the option of taking the exams or enrolling in a law school that is accredited by NCA.
Correct.
Okay? Kasi not all Canadian law schools are recognized by NCA for purposes of these exams. May mga certain universities lang. Good thing kaming tatlo, Boss Jeric, nandito kami sa Edmonton, ang University of Alberta is recognized. So pag nag-enroll ka ron 1 year, hindi mo na kailangan mag-take ng exam. My question is now, Jesse, is it still the same? Kasi kami, kung lang ako 9 subjects. Sir Bobby, 8 subjects lang. You just have to take the exams. Once you pass it, you're done. Okay?
Yes,
But the question
still
is
the same.
Okay.
But they said na bago ka mag-take ng program na yon, you have to parang get their permission. Kasi even like sa time ko, I tried contacting University of Alberta so that I don't have to take the exams. Kasi I could like parang iniisip ko I could go 1 year na mag-aral lang sa University of Alberta. So they'll give you the specific programs in every university. Anong meron ang U of A, anong meron ang University of Calgary na specific doon sa mga internationally trained lawyers. Meron din sa Osgood na yung parang mag-take ka ng LLM, di ba? So, merong mga options naka-indicate doon sa assessment. Pero, yun nga, like when I inquired sa University of Alberta, it will cost you 40,000.
It's still 40, yeah. Correct, yeah. Medyo pricey nga. Nung time na yun, I don't know ngayon, Jesse, sa inyo yata, meron na yung, there's a tailored program for that already. May parang, ayoko kung bridging program ang tawag. Back in 2014, when I got started, wala pa but and then mahirap kumuha ng slots. Pero yun nga, eventually, yung mga ibang nagkasabay ko ng exams, kasi mabagal ako nag-exam Yun, meron na silang mga program na ganyan, pero mahal nga that's correct, mga 40,000. It's medyo pricey.
Yeah, and basically, ang University of Alberta, say for example, 9 subjects, regardless of the number of subjects that you have, once you enroll in University of Alberta, for example, 1 year lang yon, it covers everything. Diba? Tama ba, Jessie?
Yeah.
Or
so
is it more of like, kung ano lang yung tinuro ng U of A, kung ano yung hindi naturo, kailangan mo pa rin kunin? Ganun ba? Or I don't know.
Yeah, ganun pa rin. Kasi like, parang meron silang maximum units. Example, sabihin natin like per subject, yung lahat ituturo nila 30 units lang. Pero what if yung na-require sa'yo is 33? So, yung makukuha mo doon is only the 30.
So, paano yun?
So meron silang certain, di ba, I learned from Demi. Na like ito yung mga subjects na kasama nung 1 year na program. So, yun nga, nagtanong ako sa sa U of A, paano kung like mas marami pa dyan yung required sa'yo?
Yeah.
Diba?
Well, we don't know, no?
So,
But
kaya
nonetheless,
yung sa assessment, nakalagay naman na you could do like part of it in schooling and part of it in the NCA exam.
Yeah, so
I
sa amin, yeah.
Nga sa papilyon, nung time ko ganun din.
So ganun din sa akin. So parang you can take the exams like what I did. I took the exams for everything except torts. Ang torts in-enroll ko sa UBC, sa Allard Law School. So I mean, it can be mixed. Pero ibang jurisdiction kasi, ibang assessment. You have to enroll first. Tama ba? Tapos, pag nakita nilang pumasa ka doon sa subjects na yon, they will reassess you. Tama ba, Jessie?
Yun yung sa mga kakilala natin na sa civil.
Yeah.
And yung kaibigan ko from Toronto, yun din yung parang sabi niya sa akin na she knew like several people who took like the 5 subjects and then wrote a letter to the NCA na pwede bang tingnan niyo ulit ito? Baka pwedeng ma-reduce yung number of subjects.
Well, I've heard that na may mga subjects na pwede mong i-appeal. Tama ba? I-contest. Yan yung tinatawag na appeal. But we're not gonna go into details about that. But if you are planning on appealing certain subjects, for example, kasi I was assessed business org and I've been a corporate lawyer ever since. Hindi ko na lang question. But if you want, you can contact them and say, I want to appeal my assessment. And they will definitely assess you.
They'll give you a period. I think it's 15 days or 30 days. I'm not so sure anymore. But after you receive your assessment, they'll give you an appeal period.
That's
Pero
right.
like at that time kasi I have nobody to compare kung ano yung inassess sa akin at saka yung inassess sa iba. So like it's very hard to find Filipinos still pursuing their dreams.
Yeah.
So parang wala kang mapagtanungan, wala lahat. So like
Yes.
I was okay with it, and then afterwards naisip ko din, hindi ko rin naman alam yung mga rules nila, and every time I study I realized may mga talaga, mga differences na kung ano yung alam natin sa ano ang dito. So sabi ko na lang na I will learn more kasi I'm required to learn more.
Yeah. So basically, once you get the assessment, now it's time for you to comply, diba? So it's more of the
Yeah.
exams na. So sa amin ni Sir Bobby, during our time, when you applied, the moment that you got your assessment, okay, you have 5 years to complete that. Okay?
Yes.
So within 5 years, you have to make sure that you complete all those subjects. Otherwise, you will be reassessed again, and then they will probably and most likely require you to attend get more. But again,
Yun ba, is it still 5 years?
Yeah.
it is still 5
Okay.
years.
It's still
Actually,
fun.
when I got assessed in 2012, it was 2 years. And then
Oh,
they made,
really?
so it was 2 years in 2012. So and then I think they found out na hindi realistic eh. Kasi
It
many
is
of
not.
us, di ba, we work. Sometimes we're doing this part-time. So medyo lumuwag ng konti. But there was a time it was just 2 years. Nung nag-umpisa
Ikaw
ako.
yun.
Oh.
So what happened during 2012, no? So 2014 paso na. So
Sometime before that, early 2014, naglabas na yata sila ng announcement yung FLSC saying na no, we have decided to extend it. So your 2 years, forget that, it's now 5. Parang ganun yata.
also
Kanya medyo
so
kampante
nag-benefit
na
ka
kami
ron.
after that.
So
Ang
nag-benefit ka
hirap
ron.
kasi yung 2 years talaga mahirap.
So can you tell me more about your experience in taking the exams, Boss Bobby, in the sense na what was your strategy in completing or finishing all the exams? And what made you decide to go to the exams versus enrolling in a law school back then?
Okay, kasi as a matter of background, I had been practicing for more than 20 years sa Pilipinas eh. And most of my background was litigation, and then I worked as a corporate counsel, so it was mostly corporate. When I came to Canada, I wasn't sure whether I wanted to practice pa.
Okay.
And my fallback was legal assistant. And ang hirap kasi yung umpisa, we have a child with disabilities, my wife could not work, inaalagaan niya. So I was the only one working. And although nag-apply ako sa NCA, sabi ko, siguro the next best thing, legal assistant muna. Eh wala naman tumatanggap na opisina rito. So nag-aral pa ako ng 1 year sa Reeves College sa Edmonton. And maganda yun because my teacher was a retired criminal defense lawyer. And until now, we're still friends. And he was very helpful. At that time, I decided, sige, kaya ko naman siguro sabayin to. So sinabay ko, nag-aaral ako sa umaga, Reeves College. And then I was studying for my first CA exam, which was, I'm not sure if Jesse, you're still taking Foundations of Canadian Law.
They are.
I don't know if they still have that subject. But anyway,
Yes.
yun, inuna ko yun. And mabait naman yung teacher ko. He would actually lend me books. Kasi mahal ang libro dito. Wala naman Rex bookstore dito sa Canada. Eh. If you're working, nag-aalaga ka ng bata, yung time mo talagang measured. And there are Facebook groups. I can give you some information, Jeric, if you like. And there are people who sell notes. Most of the common subjects. And some of them are very good. There is a man, I believe his name is Liran Kandinov. He is in Ontario.
Yeah.
He sells very good notes and he updates them. He actually has review classes. And what I did was I got in touch with him and I bought his notes online. And then I would read them. I would make my own notes, but I would also rely on his notes during the exams. And it worked. Another thing sa akin is I was already working as a legal assistant. So I worked in a big office here in Edmonton. So yung mga batang abogado na kinaibigan ko, they would give me their notes from University of Alberta. And that really helped also. And since mahal kasi yung every exam, So ang ginagawa ko, I don't know if Jesse until now you still pay 350 per exam. Nung time ko 350, hindi ko alam kung ano yung
75, 375.
Tumaas na. Tumaas pa yan ng 400.
Ayun.
Kasi time ko, tumaas yan ng 400. Binaba lang nila kasi sobrang mahal.
Masakit pag bumagsak ka. So, nakikita ko, may mga kasabay akong isang Pilipino, nagpa-practice ngayon siya sa Grand Prairie, sa lawyer already. And a couple of good Nigerian lawyers who is here in Edmonton, a pair of East Asians. And kung minsan pagsasabayin nila, there was a time somebody made a mistake of sinabay niya yung constitutional law and administrative law, which are quite complicated subjects.
Very heavy.
So bumagsak siya sa isa, malas naman, he had to repeat it. So iniisip ko, mahal at saka sayang oras. So instead of rushing, yung 8 exams ko, I spaced it out until at the very end, humahabol sana ako ng articling kasi the office where I was working, I was hoping makukuha ako sa articling student.
Yeah.
Sinabay ko na yung last 2 subjects ko. But after that kasi, I was so used to it already. And ayun, pumasa naman. And I never got into that office as an articling student. So wala rin. Sayang din yung madali.
Yeah.
But that's all history. Ang advice ko lang is, you try to know your strengths and weaknesses. Kasi I once attended a seminar which was also run by Deborah Wolf of the FLSC. I'm not sure if it's still Deborah Wolf until now. And she was saying, think about this. Hanggang ngayon ba, Jessie, si Deborah Wolf pa rin? Ayun, mabait yun eh. She would come over. Sometimes she would come to Edmonton. They would have talks. Think about this as a long distance run. Hindi to sprint eh. Wag mong papagurin yung sarili mo. Long distance to, talagang maraming exam yan. So, i-pace mo yung sarili mo. And eventually, ang pinakamahirap sa akin yung first exam. Kasi hindi mo alam ano talaga eh. Tapos time pressure pa. I'm not sure yung kila Jessie yata, you had to do it online. Mas mahirap pa.
Yeah.
Oo. We have an articling student kasi in our office right now. She's from India. And the first exam, sabi ang hirap talaga kasi it's online tapos nagkakagulo pa, ang daming glitches with this COVID-19. You just have to pace yourself. Pero wag mong mamadaliin, and once you familiarize yourself with how it goes, the second exam will be easier, and the third exam kasi makukuha mo na pati yung pag-budget ng time, yung time pressure nakakapatay pero it's not impossible. All you have to do is familiarize yourself with the process and you'll get good at it.
Actually, just to add on Sir Bobby's statement, actually, if you have to start on something, I guess the best way is to start on a very, not naman difficult, but very foundational subject. It could be constitutional law foundation, admin, crim, or, well, I don't know if you want professional responsibility. But sa ating kasi sa Pilipinas, ang bar exam is 4 Sundays, di ba? In September, ako naabutan ko yung September. Malamang itong dalawang to September din. Kasi ngayon November na eh. Ngayon, nung naabutan ko yung September, ang hirap kasi 8 subjects in 1 month. Okay? The good thing about this, itong exams ng NCA, they are spread all over the year. So technically speaking, they have the exams in January ba? And then they've got April or May. They've got August. They've got October. Okay? So, ang ino-offer nila, usually kasi dito, you have 5 core subjects. Pero 5 core subjects kami ni Sir Bobby yan. Pero ngayon, moving forward, 8 core subjects na. Okay? Baka mag-apply ka na rito, Boss Jeric.
Okay.
Pero I will show you lang a screenshot, okay? Let me just show you, share screen. Para lang makita natin. This policy was implemented July 2020. Now, for us na mixed law jurisdiction, okay, they are now saying that in addition to being required, so technically speaking, we have to show competence on
8 core subjects.
And what are those 8 subjects ba? These are the core 8 subjects now. Okay? We have the admin, constitutional law, criminal, professional, foundation, contracts, property, and torts. Ito ata yung tinitake ni Jessie. ito rin yung inassess si boss kay Sir Bobby noon. Tama ba?
Actually, yung 8 core subjects, that's correct. Pero nung time ko kasi it was not Canadian professional responsibility. We had to take Canadian evidence. Pero ngayon yata professional
okay.
responsibility na. Oo.
Pero yung contracts, property, and torts,
Pareho
same
pa rin.
ba? So
Pareho.
technically speaking, during our time, it was just 5 core subjects. Tanggalin lang natin yung contracts, property, and torts. And yung kay Boss Bobby na professional responsibility ngayon, dati evidence. Dati, sa amin pati sa'yo, Jesse, di ba, hindi core subject ang contracts, property, and torts? No. So technically speaking, 5. Ngayon, yung optional subjects or additional subjects, contracts, property, and torts. Pero come July 2020, it was just this year, the 8 core subjects, yung 8 yun na ang kukunin natin. So technically speaking, classify lang nila yung contracts, property, and torts as core subjects na. Pero technically speaking, mga lahat ng galing Pilipinas, kinukuha talaga tong 3. So, it doesn't matter. But the point is, 8 na siya ngayon. So, yun na yung minimum na kailangan nating i-take. Ngayon, ang process lang namin, so, nung time namin ni Sir Bobby, we had to go to a hotel room kasi doon hinohold yung exams. Okay? But with the pandemic right now, ito yung na-experience ni Jesse. NCA has shifted from physical exams to online exams. So, ang ganda na nangyayari ngayon kasi blessing in disguise in a way. So, lahat ng mga gustong mag-take ng exam dati, they have to go to Ottawa to take the exam. May mga certain exceptional cases wherein, for example, ang test taker is from India. They can take it in India. I don't know how that works, pero with the pandemic, NCA has implemented an online examination policy. Why is it a very blessing in disguise for us? Because even if you are applying from the Philippines, you don't have to come to Canada to take the exam anymore. You can take the exam at the comfort of your own home. So kahit hindi mo na kailangan bumili ng ticket para magstay dito sa Canada, para lang mag-take ng exam, no more. And the good thing about it is when I listened to that podcast, the head or the chief of the NCA, she was saying that this is not a temporary thing. This could be a permanent thing for NCA. So they have started taking the online exam, and they don't know until when they are going to implement this. But the point is, they have started and they will continue with it. So in these terms, sa akin, nagsimula ako Consti eh. Kung si Sir Bobby Foundation ang sinimula mo,
Oo, foundations.
ako Consti kasi sobrang kasi yun talaga yun ang feeling ko kasi parang tayo 'di ba ang
para sa Pilipinas 'di ba? Na consti yung
kasi yun ang supreme law natin
supreme law.
Diba? So yun ang nasa mindset ko na we have to start with Consti kasi yun ang foundation ng every law dito sa Canada. But again, ang haba, ang laki ng libro, ang kapal, Peter Hogg, no? Sobrang kapal. You have to deal with, kasi dito, hindi tayo, federal kami. May province, may federal. Tapos may aboriginal pa kami. May natives, indigenous. And that's taken into consideration. So, ang libro, ang haba. But the good thing about it is, may mga notes that you can purchase online. And si Liran is one of the very popular and most trusted notes that you can search out there. Si Jesse, yan din ang ginagamit, yung Liran notes. Ako, yun din ang ginagamit ko. Why? Very accurate yung summary nila ng libro. From, sabi natin, 1,400 pages down to 60 pages or 100 pages. Sobrang very, very efficient talaga. But,
I might add, ang maganda, he updates eh. He will even tell you, ito updated, ito hindi pa. Kanya kung gusto mo, pwede, pero hindi pa updated. Honest siya.
Exactly. But again, of course, hindi namin sinasabing mag-shortcut tayo to take the review part. If you still can study the entire book, please do. Why? Kasi yung notes na yon, yung mga information na yon, mas maganda pa rin kung kumpleto yung storya kaysa yung bulleted points na highlighted points na okay, A, B, and C, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Mas maganda yung paragraph kasi naiintindihan mo. And Peter Hogg is one of the prominent authors in Canada in terms of consti, diba? So, ang maganda rito sa NCA, once you are assessed with all the subjects, they will give you the syllabus. Okay, Jerica Coba, meron sa website nila na, this syllabus is effective right now. Pagka in-update nila yung syllabus, they will say, this syllabus will take effect for the exams in, say for example, October 2021. Hindi yung ngayon pa lang nag-iba, oh shit, hindi ko na alam kung paano ko gagawin ito, di ba? So, they will forewarn you naman in advance. So, they will give you the syllabus, they will tell you the required readings, kung ano yung kailangan mong basahin, very important. Yung primary sources ng pwede mong basahin or gamitin, and usually consti, Peter Hogg. Pero tapos meron pa yan secondary materials. O kung gusto mo pa magbasa, sige. Ang dami pa libro, sige, magbasa ka kung may time ka, di ba? Pero kung wala, no choice. So si Peter Hogg or whatever, nakasulat naman doon. Ang ganda kasi talagang kahit papano, inaalagaan ka nila na, ito yung kailangan mong basahin ha. Ito yung coverage ng exam. So sobrang ganda. And during our time, wala akong taong pwedeng tanungan kung ano ba ang proseso except si Sir Bobby. Other than that, wala. Yung application ko ng process ng NCA, wala akong alam kung paano. 'Di ba? Ang hirap. Yung libro, I might say, sobrang mahal. Talagang hindi to Rex o UP Diliman na pwede ka magpa-photocopy o recto. Di ba? Dito, wala. As in, wala. Pero the good thing about us is here in Edmonton, we have the law library and they lend out books. So if you are an NCA student, ipakita mo lang yung invoice kasi binibili mo yung exam eh. Ipakita mo yun sa law library, bibigyan ka nila ng library card, yung validity nun hanggang sa a day after na exam mo. And once you have that card, you can borrow the books. So you don't really have to spend on anything. But again, hindi naman 100 pieces meron silang available stock. They only have 1 or 2 stocks. So kung may nanghiram at wala ka na, sorry, diba? So you have to have your own. So I started with Consti. Kasi Sir Bobby, 1 subject per exam, I took 2 subjects per exam. Ang hirap i-balance dito sa Canada, lalo na when you're working. Ang hirap na, may mga iba makikita ka online, once you search NCA, journey, or whatever, they will say, I took 8 subjects in 1 sitting. Di ba? Yung schedule na yung tinake nila. Na parang, good for them. Sa akin, hindi. It didn't work out because I need to balance work, family, and the NCA, di ba? And ang naging process ko noon, to be honest, I was working in Subway. Ang trabaho ko sa Subway noon, when I got here in Canada, ang trabaho ko noon, panggabi. I would start 5:30 or 4:30 in the afternoon until 11 in the evening. So umaga, hatid ko lang si Mrs. sa trabaho, diretso na ako law library, I will study, uwi ako ng 3:30 or 4, palit lang ako ng damit, trabaho na ako sa gabi. So, ang hirap. So, and technically speaking, January exam, April exam, August exam, October exam, technically speaking, 3 months lang ang pagitan. Yes. And dalawa ang ginagawa ko. Isang subject, 1.5. Tapos yung second subject, 1.5 ulit. Hindi ko kaya yung isang buwan na or less than 1 month yung isang basahan, lalo ng consti. Sobrang hirap basahin. Kaya kung si Sir Bobby 1, ako 2. Si Jessie, ilang subjects ang tinake mong exam?
Red. I took kasi online, 'di ba? And dahil walang school yung mga anak ko, I was relaxed. So I took I took foundations, admin, and constitution.
Mhm.
But now it's impossible kasi nahihirapan ako sa pag-aaral ngayon kasi yung dalawang anak ko nag-aaral na and they're also doing online. So I can be like barely lang ako nakakapag-study. So ang priority ko this time is just property. Kasi non-core subjects are offered only like on alternative
Yes,
seating.
that's correct. Yes.
Unlike doon sa core subjects na I was thinking of taking criminal law also, pero I didn't like di ako nakapag-decide na kunin yun. Besides, it's offered every sitting. So yeah, so yung prioritize ko ngayon is the property law.
So, Boss Jeric, just to give you more information, ang exam dito, pag sinasabi namin, kunyari, October exam, 1 week yon. So, Monday to Friday, may morning and may afternoon. Usually, ang morning, yan yung core subjects. Consti,
Okay.
criminal or whatever. I think ganon. Basta, lahat ng 5 core subjects,
Spread out.
present yan sa 4. So, kunin mo yan ng January, pwede ka pang kumuha ng April, October, and November. Yung optional or non-core subjects as we speak, usually twice a year lang siya. Usually January or October, then May or November. So you really have to plan carefully. Ang naging strategy ko noon, 1 core subject and 1 non-core. Para madali lang kasi yung non-core. Technically, the good thing about non-core, very similar siya sa Philippine laws. Contracts, very similar. Business org, very similar. Property, very similar, except torts. Kasi ang torts, wala naman, walang basis sa Philippines eh. Dito hirap na hirap ako mag-take talaga ng torts. Sobrang hirap. Pero biz org, partnership lang yan. Contracts, kung ano yung pa natin, yung mga completion,
Oblicon.
perfected. Yeah, lahat.
Oblicon ba yan?
Oblicon, yeah.
Oblicon
And
lang
then,
yun.
Yeah, and then yung lastly, yung property. Sa atin, torrents title, but eventually the same. Yung mga accession or whatever, accretion or whatever. It's more of civil law, civil code lang review. So, you really have to strategize. Pero, each exam costs something. Okay? Like what Jessie has been saying now, it's now $375.
Yeah, I think so. But I will verify.
Ne, it's
Kasi,
online naman, di
yeah.
ba? So
Yeah, I
the
can't
fee is
access
online.
Yeah.
375. The good thing about it though is sa amin na nandito sa Canada, tax deductible. Sinabi ni Boss Bobby yan. You just have to present it when you're preparing ITR. They will deduct it. Hindi lang siguro yan sa Pilipinas. I think that's one of the cons sa Pilipinas. Hindi siya deductible sa Philippines. So, well, tiis-tiis lang.
Okay lang siguro yun as long as we can do it remotely. Actually, yun yung siguro unang question ko eh. If I can study here and then take the exams habang nandito ako. Ganun. And
Yes.
I think this is going to be one of the major concerns din ng mga manunood dito sa YouTube. If they can do it remotely. Especially
Yes,
dito sa Pilipinas.
So right now, it is.
Yeah, if you have question, Sir Jeric, feel free to get my contact info.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kami naman, of course, we want to have more Filipino lawyers here in Canada. Kasi kahit papano, nagkakaroon tayo ng presence ng legal professionals. But at the same time, hindi pa tayo ganon hindi naman solid, but yung magkakakilala, like yung spouses Angeles, na I don't know kung naabutan mo siya eh. Sa Ateneo din sila eh. Ata.
Angeles?
Oo. 2006 ata. O 2006 sila bar grad.
Hindi ko na naabutan yan.
Yeah, so
Anong year ka ba, Jeric? Anong year sa Ateneo?
01. 2001.
Okay.
Ikaw, Sir Bobby?
92.
Okay.
So it's really a long time ago.
Yeah, so basically, yun ang purpose natin. We've been trying to organized legal professionals. Sobrang laki ng presence ng Filipinos dito sa Canada. Everywhere you go, you will never fail to see a Filipino. Pumunta ka sa Banff, pumunta ka sa Jasper, pumunta ka sa pagkain, you will see a Filipino at least, di ba? Kahit rural areas. Siguro it's high time for us to somehow meet as a legal professional para kahit paano get to share our experiences. And again, when it comes to applying in NCA, you have 5 years, Boss Jeric. I think it's
Okay.
still 5 years. So you just have to be careful. Let me just check.
5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it is still 5 years. Yeah. So, kailangan mo, if you're applying this year, 2020, at makuha mo yung assessment mo this year, it would be until 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So, 2025. Isa sa mga naging problema ko, patapos na ako. Kasi nag-apply ako 2015.
Okay.
Bumisita ako sa girlfriend ko rito. Sabi ko, sige, mag-apply na rin ako. And nag-migrate ako rito 2017. So, nagsayang ako ng 15 and 16. So, 17, 18, 19, 20, yun na dapat ng 2020, March 2020 ang last ko. So, hinapit ko na. Sabi ko, hindi na pwede. Kaya last ko, nag-UBC na ako kasi pagod na ako mag-take ng exams. Ang hirap ng torts. Torts, guys, sobrang hirap intindihin. Alam mo yon, merong step-by-step procedure ang torts. Boss Bobby,
Pero,
parang admin.
Yung
In terms
like,
of negligence?
yung sa torts mo na kinuha mo sa UBC, like gaya nung nag-take ka pa rin ng exam or hindi na?
Hindi na.
Sa kanila na?
Yeah, when you pass the UBC, when you enroll and take the exam from them, that's considered as passed na sa NCA.
But you have to get NCA's permission, right?
No. Sa akin, hindi.
Oh.
Ang problema ko lang, ito ang ginawa ko, guys, ha? Nag-enroll ako sa UBC, nag-take ako ng exam sa NCA. Torts to, pareho. Naunang lumabas ang resulta ng torts, ng exam, kesa sa UBC. Kaya ang nangyari, nalaman ko, pasado na ako, useless na rin yung UBC. Wala na. Kasi pumasa na ako sa exam.
Natuto ko pa.
Ang kwan ko lang, pwede na ako magsuot ng UBC na hoodie. That's it. But anyway, ang mahal UBC. $4,500 ang isang subject nila.
Grabe.
Sobrang mahal na parang. Pero U of A, $40,000? No way. Diba? 1 year, 40,000? Ano ko? Ang mayaman? Hindi, di ba? So, hindi. Kaya siguro marami sa atin ang nagtitake ng exams. Kasi sa akin, on my journey alone, ang na-spend ko lang lahat sa exams, 9,000. Exam fees, books, bus pass, pagkain. And that's it. 9,000 for all subjects. And I'm pretty sure Sir Bobby mas maliit. Kasi libro, notes, and then just the exam, di ba? Si Jessie could be the same as well. Kasi ako, nag-aaral ako sa library, so yung bus pass ko everyday, di ba? Yung $90 natin na bus pass, kailangan kong bilhin. So, sinasama ko siya sa costing ko, sa budget ko sa NCA. So, 9,000 as compared to $40,000. Very significant yung difference, di ba? Siguro, meron tayong mga kakilalang nag-take ng nag-enroll sa U of A. Sila yung mga mayayaman. Pero, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go through that. Ang medyo problemado lang dyan would be for those who are coming from civil law jurisdiction. Because they have to enroll. They are forced to enroll. Tayong nasa Pilipinas, there's no need. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So any questions, Jeric, just in case?
One more thing, hindi ba parang sa US din ba to? Different states have different jurisdictions din, di ba? Let's say sa Ottawa ka or Edmonton ka. Siguro nasagot mo na rin to kanina, Irvin. So, in different states, do they have different requirements with other states yan sa Canada? Or standard yung nila, requirements
Okay,
nila?
so basically, ang requirements ay standard in
Okay.
Canada
Okay.
except Quebec.
Okay. Sige.
Quebec has its own. Kasi Canada as a country is common law except Quebec. Quebec is civil law. Okay, so parang US, all are common law except Louisiana na civil law or mixed civil law.
Irvin, I haven't asked you, like, example, you're full-fledged lawyer here already in Alberta. So, like, if you go to BC, you just have to apply for a license, right?
Yes. So
Again?
the good thing about this is, if you are called to the bar and you're now a full-fledged lawyer here in Alberta, for example, you can transfer or apply for the same license in BC without undergoing any articling or exams, except Quebec.
Yeah, I confirm that. Kasi sa amin, no, sa office namin, we do personal injury. And a lot of our personal injury files are BC. So we have lawyers who originally are called to the bar sa Alberta, but they got themselves sworn in sa BC also. So pwede yun.
Oh, yeah. So
Pwede yun.
yeah. So basically you can. Any other question, Boss Jeric?
Yung resource materials, kasi I'm pretty sure naman, can you point us na lang to a website where we can...
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I will do that now. NCA.legal.
Yeah, sa NCA, meron silang yung syllabus, tapos meron din silang sample exam at saka guide kung how they assess it, how are the exams, or how do we answer the exams.
So basically, I'm sharing you a screen. The website is https://nca.legal.
Got it.
So
basically, nandiyan na lahat, any questions that we can have.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
contact
nandiyan na.
details, the FAQs. Ito yung account ko online. Di ko na ipapakita kasi. Hindi, dito walang score. Hindi mo makikita yung score mo unless bumagsak ka. Ang dito, you will only
Pass
see
or
whether
fail.
you're pass or fail.
Okay.
And yung passing rate ng exams dito is just 50%. Hindi siya
higher
65%
sa Pinas,
na parang bar. Oo, ang taas ng Pinas. Dito 50% lang.
Which is not to suggest na madali siya. Hindi.
Hindi naman necessarily madali. Sobrang hirap din. May mga bumabagsak din. Kasi sa isang room, nung time namin ni Sir Bobby, may 3 sets ata o 2 sets. Set A and Set B. Diba? So, pwedeng ang matake ko ngayon, kunyari kami ni Sir Bobby, isang room kami, taking the same subject exam. Pwedeng Set A makuha ko, Set B siya. And hindi namin malalaman, hindi namin pwedeng iuwi yung questionnaire. We have to return it. Lalo na yung mga kasi bibigyan ka ng piece of papers, paper pad. Even yung mga vacant o yung mga hindi mo nasulatan, you have to return.
Ilalagay mo yun sa sasauli mo.
So, sasauli mo sa kanila. So the process then ng exam is 3 hours. Morning and afternoon. Usually 8:30 to 11:30 in the morning, and then 1 till 4 in the afternoon. So depende sa sets. Parang Philippines usually mix ng MCQs and essays. So situational. They could ask you a question. Okay, how are you as a legal assistant, whatever, or a student law? Write a legal memo. Okay, so and then you have to write that. The good thing about this, open notes. Hindi siya closed book sa Pilipinas na wala kang pwedeng dalhin sa loob ng group. Dito, open notes. If you want to open your book, textbook, notes, whatever, you can do so. Yun ang maganda rito. Ngayon, you just have to write everything. Mahirap din, to be honest. Huwag niyong isipin
na madali. The challenge is, parang ako, for instance, sa akin, dahil ngayon online. So initially they said 3 hours. And then people petitioned. Kasi like lawyers are not typists, right? Like
Yeah.
lahat tayo, hindi tayo parang sanay na tayo yung magta-type.
Yeah.
So lahat parang ang daming nagreklamo. Kasi yun nga, ang speed is like if below 20, paano yun? So the NCA granted 4 hours yung exam.
Well, hindi tayo makakasagot yan. It should be NCA. But in our case, regardless, sa amin marami rin nagrereklamo during our time. Pero wala kang magagawa. You really
4
have
hours
to make...
ngayon kami 4 hours.
Yeah, pero I don't know kung they are going to make that permanent or they're going to bring it back to 3 hours. We don't know. Diba? But nonetheless, you have to make sure that you make full use of the time allotted to you. Ang ginagawa ko, dinidivide ko yung points for 3 hours. 15 points, I make sure I give more time on this one. 5 points, less time. Diba? It's all up to you. Kung hindi mo masagutan lahat, wala tayong magagawa. It's your fault. Mas mahirap ang written kasi they have to write yung bar candidate number, yung page number, yung question number, lahat. As in each and every page yan, you have to write that down. And
Saka pag napagod ka na, di ba, yung handwriting mo, hindi na maganda. That can be a problem.
Yung fatigue ng kamay mo, yung penmanship mo, ang hirap. As compared ngayon, ang dali na lang kasi you just have to type and type and type. Tapos pag nagkamali ka pa sa written exam, oh shoot, kailangan ko maglagay ng line, di ba? Tapos, okay, mali yung sagot ko, line. Okay, tapos lagay ka ng panibagong sulat. Sa online, di ba, you can just backspace and delete everything. Di ba? So, andali. Ngayon, isa sa mga narinig ko rin is the way marami nagtatanong, sino ang nag-check ng exams? So, ang sabi ng NCA, they won't name names. But, ang lahat ng nagpo-provide ng questions and nag-check is reputed professors in their own field. Okay? May mga subjects daw, for example, for example, contracts. It can be handled by one person or one professor. Pero kung mas mahirap, usually teams sila. So group of 4, group of 5, it depends. So hindi lang tao. Kunyari, tayong 4, more on administrative law. Pwede tayong 4, sige, ano yung tanong natin sa kanila? O ikaw bahala sa pag-check sa ganito, akong bahala sa pag-check ng ganito. So professors, sinasabi nila, they assure that those who check the exams are professors who have expertise in that field. Diba? Sa atin kasi, ganun din, di ba? Professors din. Yeah, labor law.
Examiner yata yung sa atin eh.
I mean yung examiners, sila, mga professors din, di ba?
Yeah.
So, ito rin, makikita nyo rin guys, itong website na to will show you the sample exam. Makikita nyo rin dito yung mga syllabus o yung syllabus na sinasabi nila. So, ito, katulad nito, admin law, constitutional law, you just have to open it and they will show you the syllabus. Dito mo makikita, Jeric, yung required textbook na primary textbook, itong required readings.
Okay.
Yan si Peter Hogg. Ayan. Si Peter Hogg. Yeah. So, I don't know how you are... Ang isang hindi lang, ang unexplored pa natin is, the question would be, paano kunyari nasa Pilipinas ako? Gusto kong mag-order ng libro. Paano ba ang proseso? Hindi natin alam. Hindi rin alam, hindi masasagot ng NCA. Basta they provide you the textbook, bahala ka na mag-order. Kung mag-ship sila sa Philippines, all good. Kung hindi, I don't know. Diba? May mga ibang libro na online na. You just have to purchase and you can access it online.
Sana may gano'n para mas mabilis.
Pero hindi lahat kasi gano'n eh. Pero hindi lahat. Consti, hindi sila pwede. So, yun ang problema. So, yep. Siguro that's something that we can explore later on. So, was Jeric may question ka pa ba just in case?
Well, for now siguro wala pa. Kasi I think available naman online lahat ng mga At saka, yun nga, I think ang main concern ko lang din naman, kasama na rin siguro ibang mga manonood dito is, we can do it while nandito kami sa Pinas. Kasi syempre, if we go to Canada, that's it eh. Diba? Parang yun na yun. And probably,
ang mahal ng ticket eh.
Yeah, mahal ng ticket. Probably some of us are looking at this din naman as another option. Let's say things didn't work out in Pilipinas or hindi nag-improve yung political situation dito or something. Ganun. So it's a way then. It's another option.
So far you don't have any questions as of the moment?
I think I don't want to take too much of your time din naman kasi. And I think whatever questions that I have, nandiyan naman sa ano. So siguro kung may personal questions naman ako, I can just shoot you guys an email. Or I can send a message naman over Telegram.
Sure. If you have any questions, any of you, I'd be glad to just help out.
Suggestion na siguro yun, GLC Irvin. Gawa na lang siguro tayo ng Telegram group for this para at least mas ano, diba?
Yeah, that's
yun
right.
Siguro. Para mas
Sir Bobby, kung any tulong ang kailangan natin.
Ito rin pala. Concern din sigurado to. Anong state ba magandang pumunta? Like kayo, nasa ano kayo, di ba? Asan kayo ngayon? Alberta. Alberta ba pinaka-okay? Para sa inyo?
Siyempre, bias kami.
I have kasi may batchmate ako sa law school. Nasa, ano siya ngayon? Manitoba. Winnipeg. He's been practicing there for, kasi nagtagal na. I think 20 years na yata siya dun.
How can I say this? Siguro, each province, maganda naman talaga. Canada in general maganda. Each province meron silang maipagmamalaki. Everywhere you go, maraming Filipino. So you're not gonna miss out on anything. Ang Alberta, ang edge lang namin sa BC. Okay? Walang Jollibee ang BC.
Gano'n? So may Jollibee sa Alberta.
Meron na kaming isa sa Edmonton Edmonton lang. Isa na, may tinatayo ng dalawa sa north side saka sa west side.
Okay.
BC, wala pa hanggang. Siguro, each province are unique. Okay? So, walang cons, walang pros. Okay? Alberta, sanay na kami rito sa Alberta. Ang pangit lang siguro dito sa Alberta is the weather.
Ayan, yun pala, the weather. Kasi
the weather in Alberta is unbearable. It can, alam mo siguro we have 5 months of non-winter and that's it. Diba, Sir Bobby? You can attest to that, Sir Bobby. Diba? Jessie?
Kanayan lang yan. You get used to anything.
Yung sa akin naman, I love Alberta. Kasi nandito yung before I came here, I was working for Gasco in Abu Dhabi. Mga 5 years din. So, parang nasanay na ako sa parang yung fast pace na life. And then, nung pumunta kami dito, parang ang reason ko lang at that time is I have to be in Alberta kasi from day 1, you are covered sa insurance. And I was 7 months pregnant at that time. So, I don't want to risk any one day. Kasi sa Toronto, di ba, parang 30 or 90 days pa bago ka
ma-cover.
Oo. So, isa yun sa reason. At saka yung ni-research namin cost of living is reasonable. Earning yung nila, salary nila, yung wage nila dito, okay din naman. So, ito yung pinili namin and we never have regrets. Kasi when we traveled here, isa pa lang yung anak namin, tapos ngayon 3 na. And alam mo yung life na modern siya, pero not that stressful. Kids have good education. School programs are superb. Like, yung 2 anak ko, they're in French immersion. So, parang yung 2 Asians na nagsalita ng French. Tapos, it's amazing kasi, yung maliit sila, pero they have that program. And, looking back, if I get the same program from the Philippines, it would be so expensive.
Ay, talaga. Yeah.
Baka non-existent pa.
Well, in general naman, Canada, in terms of healthcare, supported kami. As in, alam mo yung pandemic, pagka nawalan ka ng trabaho, for example, they will give you money. Okay? No questions asked. Diba? Well supported in the sense na hindi ka mahihirapan. In terms of raising a kid, ang daming support na binibigay ng Canada. Just to give you an example of the difference between Alberta and BC. BC, ang mahal ng bahay. A 400,000 house here in Alberta could cost you already 800,000 in BC. The good thing about BC lang is that BC is very accessible if you want to go home to the Philippines.
Yes.
Kaming nandito sa Edmonton, we have to fly from Edmonton to Vancouver, then to the Philippines. Diba? But additional cost yun. Alam mo yon, parang pros and cons. Dito sa Alberta, mataas ang income namin, ang minimum wage. Tapos ang bahay, mababa. Pero landlocked kami. Pag pupunta ka ng ibang province, ang mahal. Kasi nga, meron ka pang dadaanan, di ba, Sir Bobby? Pero kunyari, pupunta ka ng Toronto. Toronto kasi bababa ka lang, New York na. Di ba? So, tapos may mga direct flights na from Manila to Toronto via PAL, di ba? So sinasabi nila. Kami kasi dito sa Edmonton, wala. We have to always go down in Vancouver, then wait for another flight to go to Edmonton. Eh magkano yun? $300 to $400, di ba? So, ang maganda pa rito ha,
ang bahay urban, right? Because like yung mga nauna pa sa amin na nasa ibang province, until now, they still opted na mag-rent muna. Hindi mo na bibili ng bahay. Kasi ang mahal. Super mahal. Like Toronto, BC.
Alberta is one of the lowest. Yeah, maganda. Maganda talaga. I mean, again, I cannot speak for any other province kasi I've never lived in any other province. It's more of yung observation ko lang. And of course, Alberta in itself is very unique then. Alberta is known for oil and gas back then. Ngayon ang problema, wala na kami. Wala na, patay na ang oil and gas industry. They are trying to revive, pero I don't think it will happen soon. Yun lang kasi talaga yung bumubuhay sa Alberta kasi Alberta ang pinakamayaman sa Canada dati. I don't know ngayon, parang hindi na ata. Pero pagdating sa necessities mo, nandyan lahat. You cannot go wrong when you migrate to Canada. Oh, kwan pala, just to be clear, guys, when you think of taking the NCA, hindi ito step to becoming, parang hindi to step to help you migrate in Canada, okay? Baka marami nagsasabi, eligible na ako, pasado na ako ng NCA. Additional background ko na yan na points para makamigrate sa Canada. No, it is not. Just to be clear, okay? Baka kasi magkaroon ng high hopes or false hopes na, Irvin, nag-NCA ako. Hindi ba dapat kasama na to sa mga points ko para mas madali ako ma-process? No, it's not. Okay? Just to be clear, kasi mahirap na. Okay? So, any other questions, guys? Just in case?
I'm good na ako on my end. Siguro yun na lang, gawa na lang tayo ng Telegram group for this.
Yung results, Irvin.
And then other people na.
Results. What do you mean by results?
Yung results, like nung sa inyo, after 2 months ba, lumalabas na yung result? So bago yung next sitting ng exam, lumalabas na yung results nyo? Lumabas na?
Usually 2 months, yes. Usually 2 months, yeah.
Usually 2 months.
Yeah. Basta, ang maganda nun sa written exam, they will release the results in time na open yung registration for the next exam.
Yes, that's
They
correct.
won't release the results na close na yung registration for the next exam. Hindi ko lang alam ngayon kasi na-mess up yung schedule ngayon eh. Messed up. Instead na 4-5 days lang, Jesse, di ba, in-extend nila more than a week? Yung mga exams. Yeah, so
yung exams ngayon actually is from 14. May ginawa silang prepone, hindi postpone, prepone. So from staggered yung exam from 14 to November 3.
Yeah, so sobrang ibang-iba na ngayon. Na-mess up talaga because of COVID. Lalo na when they implemented yung exams, when they implemented the online exam, ang daming mess up. They were supposed to start at 8:30 ata, Jesse, di ba? And merong
Depende,
instances.
like may time slots kang i-assign sa'yo?
So, may mga iba hindi nagsimula on time. May mga
Like,
iba they waited the whole day, 'di ba?
yeah, exactly.
So, and we cannot blame NCA. This is the first time that they've done this in a very short span of time. Reactive ang ginawa nila, but eventually it will become normal, 'di ba? So, yeah, Sir Bobby, any advice for NCA takers, future or prospective and current ones that you would like to impart to them?
Sana treat it like a learning experience. Go through the process, magmamadaliin, and have faith in yourself. Kasi you're trained lawyers in the Philippines. Maganda ang training natin sa Pilipinas. All you have to do is familiarize and you will get into the rhythm of things. Papasa ka rin. Kakayanin mo rin yun.
Yes. Ikaw, Jessie, any last words that you would like to share for our viewers who are planning to take the NCA?
So like you know yourself better. So we have different circumstances. So like ako, I love challenging myself. I think I made a good decision na somehow I decided na I will take more than one on the first. Kasi now na may schooling na yung mga anak ko, like now I have to slow down. Kasi ano talaga, iba-iba. But like also I made lots of friends. Yung parang hindi ko inexpect before, like marami akong nakilala na nasa legal field. Somehow nagbibigay ng boost sa iyo yun. Tsaka like knowing na yung nai-experience mo ngayon na hardship, ina-experience din ng iba, or they're also having that same, experience right now. So you're not alone. And I think that's very important. Kasi like, okay, we know networking is important, but it's not super important back from where I came from. Pero dito talaga, networking is like one of the things na makakatulong sa'yo. Like you'll have emotional support, you'll know lots of things from like other people. So gaya ni Irvin, when I had, problems with a subject and parang kinukulit ko siya. So kaya and it's really good na yung mga Pilipino mag-ano din.
Come together.
Kasi like I was invited to interpret for someone. So I'm not licensed interpreter, pero I was invited by a friend kasi nahihirapan talaga siyang maintindihan yung sa court. Yung parang may mediation yun. So nahihirapan talaga siya sa English. Tapos I have encountered several Filipinos na ganun din yung challenge. And ang hirap maghanap ng interpreter, ang hirap maghanap ng abogado na Pilipino.
Yeah, that's true. Well, for me, just to end this, sobrang, guys, for those who are applying right now, it is very important for you to connect to others, people who are in the same situation, because they will definitely be your support, not just in terms of exams, but rather emotionally. Kami ni Sir Bobby, when we were doing this, we were alone. We have no one to actually ask any help from. And it was really taking a toll on us, di ba? Syempre, the mental exhaustion is really real. But when you have someone who can say, hey, I'm here to support you, will definitely go a long way. Di ba? Wag lang pera. Okay, wag lang pera kasi wala kami pera. Ang mga nagtatrabaho dito. Di ba? But the point is, there's no one who can best understand you except for the same people who are undergoing the same path as you are. Don't be afraid to ask help, be they in the Philippines or us. Kasi nandito kami para tulungan kayo. You just have to be prepared and make sure that this undertaking that you're entering into is something that you have prepared for. This is not parang bumili ka ng, parang magsisimba ka na parang you just have to come in and then go out. this is something that is very important given the timeline, di ba? Kasi pagka hindi mo siguro natapos yung timeline, you will be reassessed again. And that's something that is very taxing already. Be prepared financially. The application in itself is not menial. Sobrang laki na. $500 is 20,000 na already in the Philippines. Each exam is 375. That's what? 15,000 in the Philippines, di ba?
And you have to take 8 exams, ano? 8 exams,
oh, and
tama?
8 exams at least, di ba? 15,000 times 8, almost 140,000
plus. Yeah.
di ba? So, but the good thing is 100,000 split into 1 year or 2 years or whatever, di ba? So 15,000 in one sitting, di ba? Now, of course, you have to be emotionally prepared. If you're a family person or you're very active at work, you have to make sure that you can set aside time in studying and taking the exam. Taking the exam, hindi ito yung Philippine time. This is Canadian time. And very opposite ang time ng Philippines at saka ng Canada. Dito sa amin, anong oras? 10 o'clock ng gabi, sabihin na natin. Sa inyo, 12 ng tanghali. And usually, pag nagtitake kami 8:30 in the morning, it could be 10 p.m. in the evening, 10 in the evening sa inyo. So 10 p.m. till 1 a.m. So you have to be prepared, di ba? And please, please, please set aside time for prayer. Why? Prayer is very important. If there's no one else that you can turn to, it will always be God. Okay? So again, sa akin, if there's anything that you would like to say, please do so. Guys,
I would like to raise a question sa kay Sir Bobby.
Go ahead.
I know now we in this journey we invest so much time, money, relationship. So is it worth it being there?
You know, Jessie, that's a very good question. And I would say from the very outset, it is worth it. In fact, sa akin, akala ko parang, hindi, okay to. Sige, abogado ako ulit dito, ganyan. Hindi naman ako nag-exaggerate, but for me, it exceeded my expectations. Kasi yung pakiramdam mo na I was trained for this. Dito sa Pilipinas, yan ang ginagawa ko. Tapos dito sa Canada, ginagawa ko rin yan. There is nothing that can describe that other people would not understand, but you would understand because you are a Philippine-trained lawyer and now you are doing it here. So you will be able to relate to that. So my answer to you definitely is a yes. And you would go to work every day saying, uy, I'm actually good at this and I like what I'm doing. Hindi yung, siyempre nakausap mo ibang Pilipino, parang, ayoko na naman, ginagawa ko na naman itong trabaho ko na ayoko. Ito hindi eh. Pumapasok ka, every day may natututunan ka, and to be fair, the money is not too bad. So it's okay. It's really...
When you're a lawyer, it's not bad talaga. Pero pag when you're an articling student, it is bad.
Lahat tayo dadaan dyan. Lahat tayo dadaan dyan.
But nonetheless, alam mo yun, sa akin, just to be clear, articling student, I'm not paid very well. Minimum wage at the least. Marami pa foreign, Sir Jeric, pag nag-articling ka, maraming foreign trained ang nag-articling even for free.
For free, yes.
Oh, wow.
For free. Because they just want to get through that phase na ma-comply nila and then get on with it. And unfortunately, usually it is 1 year. 1 year ka walang sweldo. Diba?
So requirement yung articling na yan?
Yes. So after NCA exams, once you pass the exams, you have to go through the articling and it goes simultaneously. So 1 year, usually 10 months yan or 1 year. And then after mo ma-comply yun, then pwede ka na ma-call to the bar.
Okay.
So pakita ko lang sa inyo, ito ako. So yung assessment date ko was March 4th, 2015. And I had to complete it by March 4, 2020. These are the subjects that I took. And ipapakita lang dyan, completed. Exam required, completed, This is my personal account online, and that's it, di ba? So the point is, you can do everything online now, which is good. Technologically inclined na ang NCA in terms of this. Okay? So any more questions, guys, just in case?
Ako, I'm good. Maraming salamat for giving us your insights, sa Robert. Maraming salamat.
Jesse.
And Ma'am Jessie. And GLC Irvin, sobrang salamat.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. Anytime.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.
Nice meeting
Likewise, sir.
Thank you so much.
Gawa na lang siguro tayo ng yung Telegram group for this. And we can add people na lang, let's say may gusto magtanong or something.
Yeah.
We can
Well,
add them na lang.
Thank you. And thank you, Boss Jeric, for gracing us with your presence today.
Of course. If you remember, ako nag-PM sa'yo, di ba?
I hope that we can reach out to more Filipinos who are planning to take the exam. Na parang hindi lang New York or California yung pwede mong puntahan, but rather dito rin sa Canada.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, maraming salamat. And I would like to thank you for joining us tonight. And I'm really I'm appreciative of all the time that you have spent with us. And I would like to thank my friends here who have joined us tonight. I would like to, of course, thank Jeric Jacoba, my friend, Sir Bobby Navarro, Roberto Navarro, who has gone before me, who is now a practicing lawyer here in Canada.
Nice.
If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask help from him. He can give you the best advice that you can.
There's
And of
Our
course,
inspiration.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah, and of course, Miss Jesette Apau-Chan. I believe that the husband is also a law graduate, so makakatulong din ito for everyone, di ba? Si Jessie has been a good friend of mine since GLC. And guys, if you just want to keep in touch, we will definitely be glad to help you out. And again, thank you very much. I hope that you have learned so much from this discussion, as much as we have learned from one another. Okay, so till then, thank you and good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Thank
Bye.
you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.